Hi everyone. Today's story is called 4 Feet, 2 Sandals. And it's a story that's set in Afghanistan, which is in the Asian continent. And it's about the refugees who are fleeing their country into another country, which is Pakistan, so that they can end up somewhere in the US as political asylees. And the story is about kids just like those. This is real life images. These are Afghanis. Here's another set. Here they are. They're all your ages, but they're experiencing some pretty tough situations. And the book is called 4 Feet, 2 Sandals. It's written by Lynn Williams and Khadra Mohammed, and it's illustrated by Doug Chaika. "4 Feet, 2 Sandals." Lena raced barefoot to the camp entrance where relief workers threw used clothing off the back of a truck. Everyone pushed and fought for the best clothes. Lena squatted and reached, grabbing what she could. The crowd began to leave. In the dust at Lena's feet lay a brand new sandal. It was yellow with a blue flower in the middle, and when she slipped it on her foot, it fit perfectly. Lena was 10, but she had not worn shoes for 2 years. Can you imagine not wearing shoes for 2 years? She looked around for a matching sandal. A girl stood nearby. She was thinner and darker than Lena, and she wore a blue and yellow sandal. "Assalamu alaikum," Lena greeted her. Peace be with you." The girl only stared. She was dressed in a shalwar kameez. Her feet were cracked and swollen, as Lena's had been when she first arrived in camp. Suddenly the girl turned, taking the matching sandal with her. In the morning, Lena went to do the washing, wearing one beautiful sandal. She picked her way to the stream, careful to keep her sandal out of the filth. Her old shoes had been ruined on the many miles of walking from Afghanistan to Peshawar, which is in Pakistan, the refugee camp that was in Pakistan. She had carried her brother, Najib, no bigger than a water jug then, but he was just as heavy. When she looked up from her scrubbing, the girl from yesterday was standing over her. She wore one sandal that she bent over and removed. "Grandma says it is stupid to wear just only one." She placed the sandal at Lena's feet. Then she turned and walked away. "Wait!" Lena grabbed both sandals and followed her. "I am Lena." The girl turned slowly and said, "I am Feroza." Lena held the sandals out. "We can share." What a good is one sandal for 2 feet? Feroza frowned. You wear them both today, and I will wear them tomorrow. Lena smiled. 4 feet, 2 sandals. Feroza smiled too. She took the sandals and put them on. Tomorrow they will be yours. The two girls greeted each other as they carried their jugs for water the next day. Lena put the sandals on and they waited together in the long line. Everyone in the camp was waiting for a new home. Mama went to meetings about being resettled. The girls stayed in Lena's tent with Ismatu and Najib. They were careful to keep the sandals away from the two boys, for Ismatu wanted to pull at the flowers and Najib wanted to chew on them. My father and sister were killed in the war, Lena told her friend. Mama and I had to run with Ismatu and Najib in the night. Feroza nodded, and 2 tears ran down her cheek. I have only my grandmother now. There's the 2 little mischievous boys. When they did not have work to do, Lena and Feroza crept up to the windows of the school and peeked inside. The school was small with only enough room for the boys to study. The girls practiced their names in the dirt and brushed the marks away so no one would see their mistakes. Sometimes each girl wore 1 sandal. Other children pointed and giggled, but Lena and Feroza did not care. In the evenings, the sky turned deep blue and the first stars began to sparkle. Lena and Feroza watched the sliver of the crescent moon that signaled the beginning of Ramadan. They shared memories and whispered their dreams for a new home. One morning, they went to the stream and washed their sandals to keep them looking new. Lena, come quick, Feroza's grandmother called. Your mother says your name is on the list. Feroza grabbed the sandals. The 2 girls ran ahead to the office. Lena stood on tiptoes and squinted at the sign. Mama's name is here. We're going to America. She looked at her friend. My name is not there, Feroza said quietly. She looked at her feet as she spoke. Then she bent down and took the sandals off. She handed them to Lena and said, You cannot go to America barefoot. Feroza gave Lena a hug. When it was time to leave, the relief worker gave Mama a large square white bag with numbers on it. All of your important papers are in this bag, he said. Feroza and her grandmother came to say goodbye. Lena pointed at her feet. Look, Mama. She saved her sewing money and she's bought us shoes for America. Real shoes. Feroza admired the new black leather. Here, Lena said, it is your day to wear these. The tears in her eyes were not for the sandals. Assalamu alaikum, Feroza said as she took the faded yellow and blue sandals. Peace be with you. Lena followed the others to the bus. Kind of a sad moment. Wait, Feroza called as she ran to her friend. You must keep one. She handed Lena 1 sandal. What good is one sandal? It is good to remember. Feroza held up the other sandal. 4 feet, 2 sandals. Lena felt the tears make a trail down her cheek. She slipped the sandal into her bag and climbed on the bus. Feroza ran alongside as the bus began to move. Lena leaned out the window. We will share again in America, she called. Author's note: people who flee their country because of fear of persecution are called refugees. At the time we were writing this story, there were more than 20 million refugees worldwide. The majority of refugees are children. This story is based on Khadra's experiences with refugees in Peshawar, a city of the Afghanistan-Pakistan border. Decades of war and instability in Afghanistan have forced millions of Afghani people to flee their homes to neighboring countries. Many of them live in makeshift camps in and around Peshawar. Some, like Lena and her family, are able to find safe haven in resettlement countries in Europe or in the United States. Though the story is based on a camp in Peshawar, the experiences of children like Lena and Feroza are shared by refugees around the world. So my question to you is, do you know someone who's come from another country because they were seeking refuge? Well, if the answer is no, you can turn your answer to a yes, because I myself was an immigrant. When I was 12 years old, my country of Lebanon had a huge civil war, and we ended up leaving and coming to the United States because we were fleeing a religious war. And so I can completely understand how Lena and Feroza feel, because I went through it myself. And so if you ever wonder if you've known a refugee or an immigrant, you can now answer the question and change it to a yes. And how lucky are we that our country, the United States, welcomed us with open arms so we can start a new life in this land of opportunity. Thank you for your time. Reading is my favorite thing to do, and I hope that it is yours as well.